Right, hello once again YouTube, welcome back, some more from the depths. Now, before we start, obviously we just had a big special, and someone else had sent me some more craft files over to review, or rather a single craft file. I was like, oh, cool, but I found out about it because they asked me is there a size limit for creations. And I was like, ah, send whatever, I'll have a look. Turns out, I might not have a size limit, my poor little computer down here does. And there's a reason that I've got the manta up on the loading screen at the moment. So, you notice, 40,917 blocks, nearly 3 million, right? And that's 5 different crafts, technically, all merged into one. That was our apex predator. That was our biggest ship. I think even the... I don't think we had anything that cost more than that, or was larger. Yeah, even the flagship was less than that. 40,000 blocks, right? Take a look at the craft they sent me. Cobra X, that was it. Paper Machete class Super Frontier. Yeah, so first of all, you notice it doesn't look like a bunch of individual blobs. It looks smooth. It costs less than the Manta. 210,000 instead of 270,000. 386,741 blocks. I tried to load this. I wanted to show this off. It does not load, at least not on my machine. It sat there for a good 10 minutes, roaring away, and I was just like, I feel like I'm actually going to do some damage. I'm not. You could look it up. That's what it's called on the Steam Workshop. I'm not even going to link it to people because I don't want to burn out someone's computer trying to load it, just in case. Thank you for sending it over, Cobra. Far too big, cannot load. I do not know what kind of machine you have to load that, unless you built it all in one go, perhaps. But yeah, it seems to be primarily armored in wood. I think it's like extremely thick wood casing, but yeah, doesn't load on my end. If you ever want me to show it off, you're going to have to optimize it quite a bit, shall we say. If you've got any smaller craft, I'm still perfectly willing to take a look at those. But yes, thanks for sending it. Sorry I couldn't load it. It's just not happening. Right. Yes, of course we are working on our battleship, so I'm going to do a little bit more on the bridge. We'll finish that off quickly. Oh, right, yes, it's got a 2-meter curve. And then we'll do the anti-air. Yeah, for those who don't know, this is our battleship, the pocket battleship that we're building for Finest Air. Once this is built, we can load it into Campagin and go fight the... I was about to say the Richelieu, that's the French one. What's it called? The British battleship. I think it is R something. Nelson? Don't know why that's not R, but it might have been Nelson. No, it's smaller than that. No, it was Nelson, I think. Yeah, because it was bigger than ours. Yeah, it was Nelson. I don't know why I was thinking R for the name. Because I do not believe that's it. We'll make sure we've got a good field of view out of this one. This one's going to have some big windows. Although we will reinforce it a bit. Might even have a rear bridge so that if one control table gets knocked out and we want to take manual control, we can still override it again from the rear. Right. Make sure we have a few little command stations in here. Like I say, so if we lose one, we're not completely out. Then we want the ship decorations pack, windows. 1 meter slope. But yeah, hopefully you'll like the sub special. You might find the craft files aren't up just yet. I'm gonna wait until it's actually uploaded fully. Although I think actually it should be up. They should be up on the Discord because I just remembered I'm only gonna upload it, or only gonna make the video public once it's fully uploaded. So yeah, you should be able to find the craft files on the Discord, especially by the time this goes up, at least as long as I remember. Right, yes, that's our forward bridge. Oh, the mast. I knew there was something else. It's the radar mast. Oh, it's that could be 3 meters long. Might just be cosmetic, but we can't not have it. A bit heavy looking though. Have we got other types? We could even potentially sever it here and just make it look like a support for the mast, and then go for... Might even be tempted to go for the lattice mast. The different... It's more of a modern look, but I think it'll look okay. Oh. Yeah. That doesn't look too bad, and then we'll use one of the... oh, this is the wrong bits. I want the radar detection blocks. Could even do one of these vertically, perhaps. Bigger. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. This one look like... Yeah, combined they look reasonably nice. It's a bit lower profile than we normally build, and a bit more modern looking, but then again, this is a big battleship. It makes sense it would have the best equipment. Oh, I like that as an AA mount. Yeah, I might have to use a couple of those as AA mounts on the roof as well. I quite like how that looks. Or even the searchlight, actually. No, what's meant to be in here? Because we could also use what it's supposed to be. Those two. Oh, no, that is the right type for that. Yeah, why not? They're a bit more modern looking, but again, it's our big battleship. We can say it's equipped with like the highest quality radar technology we have. It's our biggest ship at the moment. Okay. Then we'll also... Yeah, then we want to do our AA. So, let's... Yeah, we can save the shell for the other one. Oh. Oh, I see. Did I just say it's too long? Oh, too long for this thing. Okay, what are the actual specs of this thing? It is firing... So it's got a 1.15 shell length. Actually, we'll just create them on the construct, on the hull itself. By 127 mil. Okay. Right, so... What was it? Hang on. 127 mil. Right. Shell length again. 127 by 1.15. Where's the shell length at the moment? Too much. Set that to armor piercing. Not technically fit. Oh, shell length 127. That's actually perfect. Okay. Could we just do base bleed and just have them be high velocity armor piercing rounds, maybe? Oh, I see. No, that's okay. That's I guess. Yeah, might just do solid armor piercing head ones. Just have these as armor piercing secondaries. We'll try it. They do have very, very high flight velocity, so that might actually be quite good for hitting things at longer range. We'll give it a try. I don't suspect that's a tremendously powerful shell type, but might be enough. Right, let's fit some tertiaries as well, and we'll also start to fit the AI controllers to actually fire these things. Speaking of, I should probably start doing on these. Have to go on the floor a bit underneath them. See what's going on under there in a minute and clean up the under deck as well. There we go. So just check they're actually under control. Right, and then light AA weapons, but light will be probably dual most of them where we can. Bofors, twin, triple, that Oerlikons. Oh, I like the pod Oerlikon, that's nice. Yeah, we have a few of those, and then we'll have some signal mount Oerlikons around the deck. Actually, we'll need that space because we'll put some decoration in there, I think. So maybe not block the broadside though. Let's go there. 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 We've got loads of rear deck space. We can put lots of AA on that. Not too expensive, I don't believe. So 80,000. Yeah, I think we're going to hit that 700,000 mark. It is more expensive than we had originally planned for. Cut into something there. I don't think we wanted to, actually. Yeah, that should be okay. I can't imagine that will make a big difference in the ship's total structural integrity. A small gap there. If we get killed because of a hit to there, feel free to remind me of this and laugh at me. Right. Re-enable the normal view because I can't see it. Those we will have to reinforce because they're sitting. They actually do have a bit of a weakness in the armor there. Right. What we'll do, we'll test it against the Nelson, and I don't mind if it can't beat it outright, but it has to do at least reasonably okay. It shouldn't die immediately or anything. Because the Nelson's a much heavier ship, so I really don't mind if it does lose, because it's supposed to be backed up. But if we could have it do reasonably well, that would be ideal, obviously. Right. That is the ship's full armament in. So let's throw it up for a test run. Alright, we're on the right team for this. British Empire. British Empire. Nelson. Okay, immediately. Quick response. Oh, shell's about to hit. Let's see how our armor holds out. Hey, not too bad, all things considered. Some shots punching into the heavy armor layer. Let's see how we've hit them comparatively. Yeah, we've actually punched through their armor, although we have punched through into mostly empty space. Looks like volley for volley they're quite equivalent. I think we're firing faster. Oh no, did we just take a gun hit immediately? Got to 95. Did we lose something massive? We lost the rear turret immediately. Oh my god. What was it that hit it? Must have punched through the armor there. Okay. That might be an issue. We really can't afford to be having that happen in the real battle. Don't know how we avoid that, though. Whether we even can, really. If we at least do reasonable damage back will be okay, but... was hoping for the size would be roughly equivalent. I guess we could upgrade our shells, potentially. I was hoping with the way we're designed and we'd be getting some quite nasty punch. Are we sinking? We are sinking, okay. Not ideal. Should be an infinite commodities. We will be able to add some repair blocks, but we sort of ended up in a really awkward spot now because it's behind us, isn't it? Have we actually got movement routine set up for this ship? I think we have. If we haven't, we need them. Actually, I don't even know if we do we? Beyond the basics of aiming, we haven't got anything.
Receiving.
Let's get those guns facing forward so they can actually hit. Because whilst we will be able to help it, we'll probably be on board it, if anything. Yeah, have we really done much damage? Let's also check. Has their heavy armor kind of stopped us where... I think their heavy armor has mostly stopped us where we need to punch through. Is that why they have heavy armor only part of the way through? So it gets the stacking bonus from behind that, and that makes it even more potent? Is that the idea? We have opened up some holes below the waterline. Which is good, obviously. We could load up a cruiser and the battleship and test them both at once. I think we'll have that support in the actual battles. I'd say we definitely lost that test battle. Yeah, losing that gun immediately didn't help. I thought our armor would be roughly equivalent, but I guess not. They have got more guns than us, I think. So, would it be the same? No, it'd be about equivalent, right? No, I think they have got more than us, actually. I guess we'll also test it against the Scharnhorst, which is the one we were vaguely copying. Yeah, we clearly lost that one. Yeah, let's test it against the Scharnhorst. We've saved this one in the wrong place. This should be... This should be in the Geo campaign. It could stand up to a ship of the same price. At least we're doing reasonably okay, or actually a little bit cheaper, if anything. Otherwise, we may need to rework some of it. Let's see the armor. Are we actually... We're not actually moving, are we? Okay, so we don't actually navigate... Okay, so that's probably not helping the fact we are a sitting duck. Why were you guys firing at the back? Are they AI spoofing? Tell you what, let's get this thing actually able to move. That'd be a good first step. It never ceases to make me sad how quickly they can punch through our armor, even when I think I've made something really tough. Just in general, not even just for this campaign. Those AA guns are definitely in the way. Not even working because I haven't wired them up yet. Here where they should be at the firing up. So it should be working. It shouldn't be obstructing the main turrets anymore. Let's go find the AI and actually plug it in so we move and see if that helps a lot. Being mobile. I assume it would. Nothing seemed to get through to the main components, which is something at least. They didn't breach the ammunition or anything. Didn't hit the AI. Just haven't set it up quite right yet. Right. Behavior. Broadside 2.0. Broadside at... below 1,000. Start close on target. 1,100. In range, yeah, 100, that's fine. 90, really? We do want to be flat. We can reverse, we can be stationary. We are a ship. Okay. Oh. Okay. Speed. I didn't realize I was going to spin. I'll leave that on there because that's hilarious. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. Well, we're moving on our own now. We're not quick, but we are moving. We are definitely tilting. I just realized we're having tilt problems. Why am I not just doing what we've done on all the other ships? You just fit tilt control rudders. Manual control, roller. Say near the front. We've got spare power, we can afford to do this. Okay, now let's try that again. Try to get to the Sharnos first. Again, upgrading the shells we're firing would be my first thought for improving it. I'll also be interested to see what they're firing. So we, of course, have got our... oh, that's the flat... okay, that's the flat guns. That's not the primary battle guns. There they are. Yeah, so squash head to open a hole, then fragments to theoretically open up and exploit it, which in practice seems to punch very narrow holes. Whether that's the best way to do it or not, I don't know. It does punch quite good holes, but they don't seem to have quite enough go to... yeah, the problem is, I think, that is working, but they're not opening huge gaps for the next volley to come through, and they're not quite potent enough to poke through all that heavy armor. What are they? Those are having a good try. Well, that one did. Yeah, they can poke through the thinner sections, no trouble. Okay, yeah, it's actually not doing too bad against the Sharnos now. Now that it's moving, it's out damaging it, but not by much. Why are you trying to head on it? Oh, it's got too far away. Okay. I think it does have torps, but they didn't do much to it. Yeah, its armor seems to be fairly resistant. It's withstanding shots from that thing at least fairly well. Of course, it's not really what we built it to fight, but again, we're not expecting it to be able to win on its own necessarily. It should be able to win with help, but we might have to test that and see how that looks in practice, otherwise we may have to do some improvements. We are trying to punch up at something quite a bit above us in weight class, though. 200,000 materials in weight class, for that matter. Ironic enough, in terms of actual weight, we might not be that far off, because it's so much bigger than it needs to be. Yeah, this is a case of... I wish I'd shrunk the ship earlier. Because it is probably too big. Although, then again, it's not that much bigger than that thing. I bet they use lift propellers. Considering this thing is having trouble being buoyant enough. It would help as well if the guns didn't do that. We will have to set angle limits on the guns, because clearly that's the problem they can experience, and we definitely want all All 6 barrels on target. Still, I think we're winning. Again, if we could beat something equivalent cost, I'll consider this ship okay. Certainly. Okay, we're actually a bit more expensive, but we're not tremendously more expensive. Which of our guns are still working? Have we lost any? We lost some of the secondaries. We've still got that one. Yeah, most of the heavy secondaries are still in. That one didn't hit anything. We're mostly aiming for centre mass now. Or they're striking the superstructure and doing nothing. Really are riddling it full of holes, but we do seem to be struggling to hit anything truly critical. It is interesting that we seem to be struggling to knock the guns offline. Is that just because they've got super heavy armor around them, or they've got ejectors and they're just not taking the damage? Oh, they've got a secondary layer of armor on the inside. That would do it. They've got ejectors, because someone was saying about that. No, it doesn't look like it. I think they just are really... Yeah, it's really heavily armored. They've got a heavy armor gun casemate rather than metal. Which I'd love to fit to mine, but we can't afford it because we built the whole thing too big. But actually just shaving down the hull to optimize off a bunch of funds, which is potentially doable, but it's going to be a long, expensive, and slow modification that I don't really feel that I want to make. God, our own armor's pretty cheesed up as well. This was cheesed up. Mind you, I believe it is mostly holding. Yeah, I think it is actually... Yeah, it's breached, but not too badly. Oh. Just lost the rear gun. Yeah, having another look at the shell might not be a bad idea. We could potentially try something that, rather than going for armor penetration, leads wider devastation. High explosives, or maybe wider angle frags. And potentially see if, like, blasting a ship works better. I think at the moment we're not winning, and we probably should be, given the game we're more expensive. If it can't be that, it's not going to work great against Nelson. But we're still floating. Seems to indicate the watertight compartments are mostly still fine. I'm going to manually turn it so that we can fire the guns. That's the other thing as well. It seems like on a forward approach, the guns can't fire because they can't aim down far enough. That's the problem with the rear being too heavily armoured and weighing down the front. We may indeed have to add that ballast that was being considered as well. Much I'm loath to make the thing heavier. Now, I'm a little worried about messing with the front shells because they are working. They are doing reasonable damage. It's just a case of they kind of need to be punching a bit harder, if anything. We haven't got the numbers because they've got more barrels to their guns, so we need the ones we are firing to hit harder, and we are firing larger shells. I mean, look at this thing. It's totally riddled with holes now. It's just not sinking. Is that because they've got lift props holding it up? Yeah, it's just got a load of lift props. It doesn't matter if we hold it. It won't sink. So we actually have to destroy it. So we do need weapons that can knock out the internals more easily. But we haven't managed to destroy a single gun turret yet, and they have knocked out some of ours. At least not the major guns, anyway. We aim for there. Yeah, what if we aim the guns manually? Could we knock them out? Is that a strategy worth considering? Yeah, even concentrated fire from manual aim isn't doing that much because of the armor. You can see it there. Look how thick that is. Armor scheme alone on this thing must have taken an age to work out. Okay, well, probably call that one there. This battle looks like it could have some time, but we're actually starting to lose now, I would say. We're definitely falling behind. We lost the rear turret. They do seem to be taking less damage to their the above water sections of their gun turrets. I don't know if that's just because we aren't hitting them, or what. Oh, or could it be just because there's slabs of heavy armor in them? It could be that, actually. Yeah, so that might be another thing to tweak the front armor of the turret heads to heavy armor, maybe. I think those are things for next time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I know it's been mostly battle testing. But yes. Next time we shall... We'll revisit those shells. We'll take a look at our guns. We'll maybe swap the shells out for... I want to try maybe a like a high explosive shell, potentially, or like a high explosive frag shell, maybe? Explosives aren't great against armor, but they should be good at smashing exposed stuff, maybe. Or we could maybe do a secondary charge shell. I don't know whether the air gaps would be enough that they've got on their armor would be enough to stop that, but I think one of the shells we saw was using a secondary heat charge. I can't remember if that was ours or one of the or the enemy or one of the subscriber craft. It wasn't ours, but But yes, anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys again in the next time. Spin.